So, what is happening right now in Nigeria is very, very normal for a country like Nigeria. It's not a good thing anyway, but it's still very, very normal for a country like Nigeria because we only talk about democracy but do not practice it in Nigeria. So, this is the game that is currently on now. Because most people will be the one to decide who becomes the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We are seeing a very, very big battle now because we now have two other players that are also very tough. We have Peter Obi of the Labour Party and Kwankwaso of the NNPP. So it is not party as usual. This year is a bit tough for our key players in Nigeria. Let's put it that way. Because we have key players in Nigeria and we also have key players outside Nigeria. That is the international communities that are also interested in the events in Nigeria. So it is a very, 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 very critical situation at the moment. And as Nigerians, my advice is that we remain calm because what is happening now is a sign that a change that people are clamoring for can come, but we only need to work more. Because right now we have seen even the Labour Party through Peter Obi falling out like this for the very first time. I've been able to win House of Rep, Senate positions, and so on and so forth. This is also important because to change Nigeria does not take only the president. It also takes other members, governors, members of parliament, and so on and so forth. Because definitely this time, it is going to be difficult for us to expect the results or to get the results that we want. Because right now, if Buhari decides to favor Tinubu, it will be the turn of Tinubu right now. If Buhari does not key into Tinubu, he may key into Atiku. We understand the politics in Nigeria. So right now, the major fight is still between Atiku and Tinubu based on the possibility of the outcome of the results that will be announced. So this is the point. And once they have announced it, we have little or nothing to do about it because then everybody will sue for peace because in Nigeria really we do not want war. We do not want violence. We do not want crisis. Then, right now, take for instance, Obi wins the whole of Nigeria. Obi may not even emerge the president for now because there are a lot of things that may want or may make them not to accept Obi as the president of Nigeria right now. So all of us that have voted en masse, because people really voted this time, we saw a reasonable amount of new voters, a reasonable amount of voters, probably the way it has never been in Nigeria before, throughout the Second Republic and the Third Republic. So, but this is the point right now. It is a good way to start a fight to change our country. If this thing could have happened like this, which means all we need to do is to work more. Because I always say this because in Nigeria, take for instance, the INEC chairman is not loyal to anybody. Is not answerable to anybody. Take for instance, the Inspector General of Police is not answerable to anybody. Take for instance, the Attorney General of Nigeria is not answerable to anybody. And so on and so forth. Things will be different because they are acting independently and they will pull the shots that they want to pull. But in a country whereby the INEC chairman is appointed by the president, the Inspector General of Police is appointed by the president, the Attorney General of the Federation is appointed by the president, it makes it difficult. The same thing goes down to the state level. So it now becomes difficult because most people will find it strange. But in the end, things may always play the way they want it because they have laid their bed the way they want to lie on it. So it is our turn or our duty to also lay our bed the way we want to lie on it. Advising, I'm urging everybody, the same strength that we used to fight for Not Too Young to Run bill should be the same strength that we should use to run for other bills that we want in Nigeria. The changes that we want in Nigeria must start with changing the existing laws. Laws that are capable of damaging the interests of the common people must be changed in Nigeria. This is very important. We must change these laws to have or to live in a society that we want. Because right now, the laws does not favor democracy as much as we think it is. So, how far, how well can we really go? So this is the point. The best thing to do now is to remain calm. There are some voice messages are already turning around, urging people to protest, to go into violence and all that. Please and please, there is no need for violence because violence can only beget deaths of people and lives being ruined. This is just the major point. And after all that, people will still announce the results and the situation may still remain the same because even if you go to court, the court can also rule out the case as it may be. This is just the truth. So what we have to do is to remain calm, follow the process. When the result comes out, Peter Obi and his squad can decide to go to court and file proceedings, bring out proofs and all that. Yes, but we shouldn't resort to violence. If it is Atiku that feels that the election was rigged, he can also go to court. If it is Tinubu that feels that the election was rigged, he can also go to court. We can resolve all these things peacefully because even in these elections, a lot of people died. We only heard of the few that died in major cities. We are not even aware of the things that happened in remote villages, areas that we don't even know they exist. Now, if you watch all the videos that we're turning around everywhere, these are all main towns, cities majorly. Most of us, we didn't see videos coming out from our villages. We all have villages where we come from. We didn't see videos coming out from our villages because most of us now, once we are in the city, that is where we take as our word. But normally our word is supposed to be where we come from, our villages. So we are already, for instance, you're already in Lagos and you are resident in Lagos, fine. You did your registration and everything there. So you are going to report what is happening in your unit in Lagos, but you don't even know what is happening in your village. There are a lot of places in Nigeria that we do not even follow. So a lot of people may have lost their lives during this election. So we will not want more people to lose their lives because of protests and disagreements. So the best thing for us to do is to remain calm, follow up the results, see how it was released. It doesn't mean that if your president is not the one that was announced this time, then you should go into violence. No, because your president is already a leader. Your president already has members of House of Reps, senators, probably tomorrow governors, local government chairmen, and so on and so forth. So he can also make changes through those people. In the meantime, while we start to prepare our bed, while we start to go to the drawing board to draw out other strategies, and so on and so forth, because now the people in power are the same people that we are appointed by the same people that we are trying to say we don't want. So it may be difficult. This is just the simple truth. But this is a very, very, very good way to show that Nigerians are resilient, Nigerians are determined, and Nigerians are tired of what is going on in Nigeria. And Nigerians have come out en masse to demonstrate their frustration, which means one day, not through violence, but through same due process, the same due process, peaceful due process, we change things in Nigeria. Don't mind those people that are always suing for violence. No, violence is not the way forward. And after this election, anyone that will speak about the division of Nigeria or claim to be from another part of Nigeria, for instance, Biafra, should be seen as a fool. Anyone that is trying to divide Nigeria after this election should be seen as a fool. It doesn't mean whether they proclaim Obi as the president or not, but the Nigerians have demonstrated that they are not tribalistic, that they do not care about your tribe. The Nigerians have demonstrated that we are all Nigerians. We are the same. Our tribes does not matter. The over 250 ethnic groups in Nigeria voted for Peter Obi. These 250 ethnic groups in Nigeria speak over 500 languages. They didn't say that because he does not speak my language, or because he's not from my town, or because he's not from my village. Everybody voted Obi. Almost everybody. So nobody should come out tomorrow and say, I am being marginalized. We should all come together to fight the monster, not claiming to be one other part Biafra, the other one claiming, no, we are all one. Nigerians have demonstrated that we are all one. We are all one. I saw somebody that wrote, yes, Adegoke, Adewusi. Currently, it is not really clear because it seems Tinubu is the one leading, and we have seen even Senator Dino Melaye being angry, and he has accused the INEC chairman of manipulations and all that. So actually, it confirms that Tinubu is ahead, but we also know that Tinubu lost his own state, which is the Lagos state, to Peter Obi, and we are still waiting for other results. But for Labour Party under Peter Obi to have been able to take Lagos, which is a stronghold of Tinubu, shows that Nigerians are really willing to change their country peacefully. I always refer to peace because Peter Obi took Lagos peacefully now. He didn't kill anybody, he didn't fight. And Lagos became Labour Party state. Let's put it that way, because whether you like it or not, it will be difficult for the governor then to be different. Depends on who becomes the candidate then. So this is just the point. And we have seen Peter Obi even scoring a lot of votes, even in the northern parts. In places like Edo, I've not really gotten the result of Edo State, but Peter Obi is really doing damage in Edo and Delta State. So you see that people don't even care about tribe. We are all one. We only have some people that are instrumentalists that like to lure people into violence. No, this thing should stop. We should come together as a nation and build together. This election is just a sign that our problem can be resolved by us. Because in another election, there is a level to how much we will vote that it cannot be rigged. And before that election, we can decide to push for laws that will change some certain things, how the election is run, how the INEC chairman is appointed, and so on and so forth. How the Attorney General of the Federation is appointed, how the Inspector General of Police is appointed, and so on and so forth. Because before the election, we saw Buhari commissioning a lot of police vans, commissioning a lot of military weapons, willing militaries marching up and down. But during the election, we didn't see them. So this is why I'm saying what we need is people that are appointed by the people and not by the few or those already in power. If it is like that, then democracy can never function. Democracy can never function. If this president is the one that appointed the Inspector General of Police, the president is the person that appointed the Attorney General of the Federation, the president is still the person that appointed the INEC chairman. Then, meanwhile, the Senate president could be loyal to the president. The House of Rep chairperson or president loyal to the. How can you then think of democracy? It means that they have absolute immunity. Because even the Inspector General of Police can order the arrest of anybody. And the president will say no. He cannot do otherwise. The Attorney General of the Federation can decide to give or pass any injunction, and nobody will listen. Like the issue we saw in the new Naira notes, the saga of the new Naira notes. What happened was like a decree. It wasn't really something that we can explain. Now, they just woke up and said 3 months. We have to exchange the old Naira notes with the new Naira notes. That was more or less a decree by the president. And decrees are valid during emergency, during the period of like COVID, during the war, or during any natural disaster. Then the government can use decrees because there will be no time to be consulting and passing laws. So the government will just proclaim. It's the same thing that happened with the new Naira notes. Why we are not fighting war. There is no natural disaster in Nigeria. There is no virus outbreak, and so on and so forth. So this is the problem of Nigeria. The president just woke up and with the central bank governor gave a decree and we all started to follow. But even in the UK today, the British, they changed their old notes to new one. The old one formerly had the head of Queen Elizabeth. Now they are changing it to the head of King Charles. So what did they do? The new notes have been printed, but the new notes and the old notes are going together. People are still using it the same way I even suggested some time ago. People are still using the old note, people are using the new note. So in the process, the old notes will be fading out because when it goes into the bank, it does not come out. They are going to run this system until 2024. So why is our own different? If a country that is more developed than us, they even colonized us, could use that brain that let this money be in circulation together until 2024. And in a country like Nigeria, they gave us 3 months. And they said it was to prevent vote buying, election rigging, and all whatnot. But the situation is still the same. This election was not free and fair. This is the truth. So, but this is the same reason, the only cogent reason that they gave that made them to decree that the new Naira notes must be replaced with the old ones that put people into poverty, into hunger. A lot of people died. People are still hungry. Some may still die because a lot of people still do not have money and they don't even know what to do. And in the end, the election is still not free and fair. Still the same situation. Still the same situation as it was even when the notes were available. The election, I'm talking about the election. This is how Nigerian election always play. I have said it that the only way out of it is to change how the INEC chairman is appointed. Independent National Electoral Commission is not independent. So that name is just camouflage. It's either we change the name or we change how they are appointed. So this is what we should have in mind. In the end, we are going to see either Tinubu becoming the president if they have been able to pressurize or decided within the APC, because there has been a lot of fracas between them. Even Tinubu has been criticizing Buhari's government lately. Buhari is not happy about that. And Buhari has not been happy since when he said, "It is my turn. I put you there. So it is my turn." So it's not as if they have really been in good terms. And there are still speculations that Buhari may prefer to favor Atiku because they are both from the north, but we are not always trying to talk about the tribe or whatsoever. But if PDP and APC can strike a good deal, Buhari may decide to favor Atiku the same way PDP favored him in the 2015 election. So this is the point. Yes, he could decide to say, okay, this is what we want, this is what we want, this is how we do it, they reach an agreement, and APC will leave the stage for PDP in the meantime, which is very, very possible because even Buhari toppled a PDP government the first time he came into power. Something that is not very easy in a country like Nigeria, but it happened because I think it can be due to some funny arrangements that we do not even imagine. So the same thing can happen now. If PDP and APC, Buhari and Atiku are having a good accord, Atiku may emerge the president of Nigeria. But if the accord is not there and APC is able to settle themselves and pressurize Buhari, they can give it to Tinubu. After all, Shetima is the vice president, so he's also from the north. Anything can happen. So this is just we are just trying to analyze the situation of things in Nigeria. We are just trying to analyze the situation of things in Nigeria because these are the most possibilities. The most possibilities. It's either Atiku or Buhari, Tinubu. Now, Kwankwaso is also doing a lot. We see how he cleared Kano State. We have not gotten his full record in the whole of the North, but he has not been doing too well in the South. So it may be difficult because the northern part has about 19 states, and it needs about 24 states or thereabouts. So if he's not able to conquer most of the states in North and conquer most of the states in the South, it will be difficult because we have seen that Kwankwaso has pulled weight in Kano a lot, which is his own state. But in the South, he has not been doing very well. In some other part of North as well. So you will see that the ball is between the court of Atiku Abubakar and Tinubu at the moment. Peter Obi can be the one that may have gotten a lot of votes, but that is not in the caucus. Because if, for instance, Peter Obi can be someone that is stubborn, that someone that wants this, that wants that, and he does not want to listen or he does not want to play along, there is no way they will make him the president. So now we are only considering those that are ready to go by what is on ground. And Peter Obi may not be a person that wants to play this card. So it will be difficult for us to expect, except by God's intervention, they can declare Peter Obi the winner. But we have also seen results, mainly from the South, that Peter Obi is doing very well in most of the states. We have also seen that Atiku Abubakar is doing well also. We have also seen that Tinubu is also doing well in most of the states in South. In the South, we have seen Atiku winning some states in the South as well. We have seen Tinubu also. So let's just see what happens. But the most important thing is that we remain calm and don't go into war. And don't think of protesting after the election results have been announced. We should start planning from now. Imagine what Peter B has done in this short period. We understand that he left ABGA and went to PDP. Then from PDP, where he was expecting to be given the ticket to run as the presidential candidate, he was denied. This is something that he should have known also, because if you have someone like Atiku Abubakar and other key players, you shouldn't expect that they will give you the ticket. Maybe you didn't foresee it, because this is what politicians also do. First of all, they bring you, they assure you, they promise you everything that they want to promise you, then you buy that ticket because they also need that money. It's part of funding the political party. So after collecting these monies from you, you're also going to maybe lobby the delegates and all that, do everything that you have to do. The political party, they need this money too to fund everything that they are doing. So they kind of should talk you and tell you, don't worry, you are the one that we will choose, you are the one that we will give, don't worry. So after you give them all this money, last minute they can tell you sorry for one reason or the other, then they will pick someone else. This is politics for you. This is Nigerian politics. So he left PDP and went to Labour Party. So if he could do this in this short time, if he could create this amount of effect on the Nigerians in this short time, which means if he starts planning now again for the next election, which means he must have planned for like 4 years, no longer 7 months or 8 months or 1 year, then it will be difficult for anybody to rig that election. So that is why whatever happens, anyhow the result turns out, people should not give up. People should start mobilizing and strategizing. Yes. Because the more time that we'll have, that we have, the better. I'm saying all this because I do not want people to think that violence is the way forward. Violence is not the way forward. After whatsoever they have declared, even if we are not happy with it, let us go back to the drawing board. Let us start to re-strategize. Let us begin to make our bed the way we lie on it. Thank God, Peter Obi today, the Labour Party already has people in the House of Assembly. We are not sure of how many yet. But no matter how little that number is, it matters because you now already have a voice in the say in the country. While you are there, you can start to influence the laws because even parliament members can be few. They can propose bills and they can influence the members of other parties to vote the bill and to support the bill. It is possible. I'll give you an example of Italy. The current prime minister is a woman, Giorgia Meloni. Formerly, she was a part of Forza Italia, a political party that is owned or that is run by Berlusconi, Silvio Berlusconi, that is one of the big names in Italy. So at a point, during a primary election, Silvio Berlusconi cancelled or vetoed the primary elections, that there would be no primary election. He just put himself there, if I can still remember correctly, or someone else. So some of the party members were not happy. Giorgia Meloni, there is other one that they call Alfano. And so these people left and they went to form their own political party. So Giorgia Meloni particularly started very small after she founded Fratelli d'Italia. She started little by little, different elections. Started to gather 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people in the House of Assembly. Before you know it, in town halls, before you know it, in different positions. After years of hard work, she won the elections, the national election, overwhelmingly. And today, she is the prime minister. The first female prime minister, I think, after the Second World War. So, things can happen. Nobody was expecting it. But she was patient. She went through all the orders. She went through all the process, gathered all our members, gained ground, and then she struck. So the same thing we can do in Nigeria. Please, let us put violence aside. This is my quick message today. Let us put violence aside and concentrate on strategies that we can use to change Nigeria. Because none of the candidates are talking about the major problems of the average Nigerians. I keep on saying this, really, because it is touching to see a country like Nigeria is still going through some certain things, even our own citizens. In Nigeria, more than 70% of Nigerian citizens still cannot have toilets inside their homes. The same more than 70% does not have water in their homes. How can a country like Nigeria be that poor? or the citizens of a country like Nigeria be that poor, people still need to use pit toilets. Even if they have to go to the toilets at night, they have to do the convenience, they have to do society things. People still use the pit toilet, the latrines in Nigeria. They are not entitled to in-house toilets because one, there is no water. Though we always talk about light, light, light. Water is even more important. People don't have water in their homes. Over 70% of Nigerians don't have water in their homes. If as at 2023, people in Nigeria are still using pit toilets, latrines, it is backwardness. But it is because our leaders don't care. The only way you can find outside toilets in developed countries is if they are walking in the bush. They will not take a mobile toilet there so that the workers can be using that toilet. Everyone has toilets inside their homes, even if they are living in the village. So, these are the things that our politicians are not even talking about. Who is the politician today in Nigeria that knows what to do to put water in all the homes in Nigeria so that everyone in Nigeria can open their tap and fetch water inside without going to the stream, without going to 2 kilometers to fetch water, or without going to other boreholes, without resorting to boreholes? So that is why we have to come down and look forward to a better Nigeria. Even there is I didn't even hear any of the politicians talking about water. And any land that does not have water is poor. I didn't even hear any of them talking about the negative effect of 1,000 naira note, 500 naira note, and 200 naira note to the Nigerian economy. I didn't even hear any of them talking about the coins that we have removed from circulation. So let us hope we find someone that will have the interest of Nigeria in his heart, and then we may move on. But from the situation of things, we are still trying to get someone that will really, 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 really redeem Nigeria. And together we can do this if by the time we already have someone that will be listening to the citizens. And the citizens are as well will also point out the vital areas that needs to be confronted and resolved. Most times they'll campaign about roads, school, and bridges and stuff like that. 2023, we are still talking about roads. We are still talking about schools. Man, this is backwardness. You don't even talk about human capacity development. You don't even talk about better things. You still talk about roads, the roads that you never even do. They don't do these roads. They just campaign with it and then they forget about it. If the citizens are empowered, if the citizens are okay, they can tar their roads by themselves. They can do those things by themselves. If you make laws that will benefit the citizens, that will make them to be able to garner enough money, they can be doing those things on their own. You don't start campaigning about roads this time and this age. Anyways, I just wanted to come in and quickly chip in while we are still waiting for the results. Whatever the result come out to be, let us try to calm down and put ourselves together and plan again for the next election. So on this note, I'll leave you now. Possibly we'll be online again later to talk. If you are here and you also want to discuss, you can come online and we'll talk about the elections as well, and any other thing. Any other thing. Please, you can also share this video, follow our page, like, so that people can be aware of our platform, so that together we can discuss vital issues and plan how to change Nigeria. God bless you, and possibly later we'll be online together again. Bye.